Now, first on the Western Slope, you're watching KREX 5 News at 10 p.m.
Well, good evening and thank you for choosing KREX 5 News on this chilly night. I'm Shelby Bracho. Logan Wilbur has the night off. The 29 Road Bridge is back open after being closed for a couple of hours by law enforcement due to icy conditions and multiple crashes. The Grand Junction Police Department says at least 2 non-injury crashes occurred before the bridge was temporarily closed. City Streets and Mesa County Road and Bridge treated both north and southbound lanes to make them less slick. The police department says the two entities are working together to treat slick spots throughout the city and county. And city officials have been working all day to make sure drivers stay safe through the night and into the morning. KREX 5's Adrian Thomas is standing by live on 5th Street with more. Adrian, how's that weather treating you?
Shelby, it is cold. We saw a quick drop below freezing this evening as well as a snowfall. So this quick drop below freezing plus a snowfall, it's a recipe for icy conditions everywhere. I spoke to city officials about how they prepared for this evening's Arctic cold front. The plows are attached and salt spreaders filled as the Grand Junction Street Systems team prepares for a busy night. This is the first significant blast of winter weather to hit the Grand Valley this season. City officials aren't taking any chances.
One of the main things for us is people going home from work and people going into work the next morning. We want to make sure and try to be out ahead of that traffic, put down some product. We'll be using some of the ice slicer that's right behind me.
As the first winter storm creeps up on the Grand Valley, these trucks with the city of Grand Junction are ready to go, and they will start salting the roads as early as Tuesday afternoon. Most areas treated prior to the storm are bridges and hills.
Normally we do the pre-stuff, would be using the magnesium chloride. We're going to go to those steep hills, the overpasses, the ones that when the colder temperatures they freeze up first and the quickest, and that kind of helps them. We always want to try to stay ahead of the storm.
Darren Starr says the most important work will be treating roads everywhere overnight when the temperatures drop into the teens. But he says his team is ready for storms bigger than this one.
With a smaller storm like this, being preseason like this right now, I've got 4 trucks ready to go as we stand here, and we'll probably go up to 6. I don't know that we'll go to the whole 8 for something like this.
And those crews will be working throughout the night to ensure you have a safe commute tomorrow morning. And as you know, communities and the weather vary. It varies from community to community along the Western Slope. So stay tuned to westernslopenow.com throughout this evening and download the KREX 5 mobile app to stay up to date on the latest weather and traffic conditions. First on the Western Slope and live on 5th Street, I'm Adrian Thomas, KREX 5 News. Shelby?
Thank you, Adrian. Stay warm out there. Weather conditions also forcing the cancellation of an event here in Mesa County this evening. The City of Grand Junction's Community Values and Vision Workshop was originally scheduled for 5:30 earlier this evening at Two Rivers Convention Center, but due to weather conditions impacting the travel of the city's consultants, the workshop was canceled and will be rescheduled for a later date. But officials say the Sub-Areas Plans Workshop, which explores local improvement and development scenarios, is still scheduled for tomorrow evening at 5:30 at the Lincoln Park Barn. While temperatures this Halloween may not be in your favor, we still want you to have fun, be safe, and be comfortable that evening, which means you may need to adjust your trick-or-treat plans and even your wardrobe. We have 2 days until trick-or-treat activities kick off, and during that time, we'll see record low temperatures here in the Grand Valley. We can expect extremely cold conditions for the first half of Halloween Day, with temperatures dipping into the teens and possibly even single digits. Luckily, evening temperatures should warm up a bit, settling somewhere in the 30s. Now, I don't know about you, but 30s is still pretty chilly. So we spoke to the owner of a local costume shop, which has been in the business for 20 years, and he shares some of his best tips for surviving the holiday and staying warm.
When you're buying the costumes for the kids, it's going to be really cold. Consider buying a size too large, and that way they can wear a lot of warm clothes underneath the costume. We don't want the little ones out there getting cold.
And the KREX 5 Storm Team also suggests trick-or-treating from a vehicle, or at least having a vehicle close by. This will allow kids to warm up a bit as they gather the goods. And speaking of our storm team, let's go ahead and bring in our chief meteorologist, Chris Nation. Chris, we've got our Halloween plans ready, but let's talk about this cold front that's smacking us around right now.
Yeah, so here's the thing, Shelby. Snow is one of those things that's easy to deal with. You can dissolve it, you can put salt on it, you can push it out of the way with a plow. Cold air, you can't do anything about that. I mean, even the sunshine we get the next few days will barely make a dent. Tomorrow, even with sunny skies in the afternoon, we won't even get up to freezing.
Yeah, that wind is just gonna get all of us.
Oh yeah, in fact, yeah, exactly. There's not even enough to really do anything about that. Let's go full screen. I want to show you the full state right now. It's 7 in Denver, 8 in Colorado Springs. It's 18 here. Even our friends down in Durango are about 20 degrees warmer than us. Why? The Arctic air hasn't reached them yet, so they're at their normal temp. This is the Arctic air. It's all right now in the purple, which are those sub-freezing temps. Spreads out. Notice that little burst real quick where it shrank? That was the high tomorrow. And you notice there were no yellows or greens or anything on there. They only start coming back as we get once we actually get to Halloween, Shelby. We're talking about the temp staying below freezing for at least 40 more hours. At no point tomorrow will anywhere in Colorado be above freezing. Now, we tracked down the latest snow. Originally, we were concerned about Montrose. We even have a team on standby to head there in a few hours. They were looking at 4 inches. Now, the data suggests that 4 inches will be about 20 miles to the south of them, and the bulk of the heavy stuff will be Colorado Springs and to the east. But simply put, I think that our plan is still in place. The kids, they can go out, but parents need to be ready for an extremely cold night of trick-or-treating because it will be 32 when we start trick-or-treating, and by the end around 9 o'clock, could be upper teens, low 20s. Having a car there to keep the kids warm and safe, not a bad idea.
Those color-coded maps, Chris, really show just how cold it's going to get around here.
Oh, yeah, they do.
All right, well, thank you. We'll come back to Chris when he has full weather later on in the broadcast. As Chris just explained, temperatures are plummeting here in the Grand Valley, and as we prepare for the weather, it's important not to forget about our pets. KREX5's Jillian McCarthy looked into what pet owners need to know about keeping animals safe in freezing temperatures.
As temperatures drop, we winterize our vehicles, our homes, and our yard. But it's also important to keep our pets in mind in cold temperatures. Dr. Respit explains what happens to animals' bodies in freezing weather.
Body systems and their organ systems starting to shut down, and eventually they can succumb to that and pass.
And a common household product we use to stay safe in the winter is not so safe for our pets.
Ice melt products can be deadly if ingested in high concentration.
Ice melt products commonly contain sodium chloride, and while there are products on the market deemed pet safe, we don't always know what type of ice melt is used in public places, according to the executive director of a local animal shelter.
If you're not aware of what ice melt has been laid down, that ice melt can be toxic or cause problems to the pads of your dog's feet.
The problems are serious.
Paws can get red and irritated, but also the animals tend to lick their paws, so then they're ingesting that ice melt.
If they ingest the ice melt,
make sure that you go home and rinse those paws.
As pet owners, we need to keep in mind
some animals just don't have as thick a coat, and it's easy to just assume that they can be very tough with the cold.
To combat the cold, Anna says to buy proper winter gear for your furry friend.
Coat or a sweater for your dog or your cat is important. There are also booties.
Hopefully they will stand wearing it.
Some pets will tolerate them, some will not.
If you're unsure of how your pet is handling the frigid temperatures, keep a close eye on the animal.
Watch your animal's body language. An animal will act cold when it's cold.
First on the Western Slope, Jillian McCarthy, KREX5 News.
Over at the Mesa County Justice Center, a jury has been picked and the trial of David Castro for the murder of Kyle Free is underway. Including the alternates, the case will be decided by 11 women and 4 men after nearly 2 days of jury questioning. Both sides gave their opening statements and both sides had a very different focus. The prosecution starts by emphasizing this trial is not about David Castro, but instead about Kyle Free. The defense kept it simple, holding the position that David Castro did not hide any evidence, did not help with the body, and did not clean up the scene, and did not encourage the murder. The first witness called by the prosecution was Kyle Free's brother, who initially reported Kyle missing. He provided brief testimony, mostly going through his initial search for his brother, including going to Rebecca Walker's house to look for Kyle. Next up was the investigator on this case, detailing his interviews with Rebecca Walker, including the map she drew to show where they could find blood evidence in her garage. Walker gave over a cell phone to investigators that had photos showing an outline of Kyle Free's body made with arts and crafts beads, as well as a makeshift absorption technique using sandwich bread to clean up chemicals when she tried to cover up the murder. And in other courtroom news, 2 men suspected of being a part of a large-scale drug trafficking ring in Mesa County were set to enter their pleas today. One case giving the judge frustration, and the second reaching an agreement after 7 months. Like many of the cases in this drug bust, Armando Bandomo's defense asked for more time, even proposing a 2020 return date. The judge would not agree to this request, saying he does not understand why this case is taking 7 months to reach an agreement. The defense did say they've been offered agreements, but the potential consequence of deportation is giving them pause. Armando Bandomo Hernandez has reached an agreement with the DA's office, but his defense needs time for the paperwork. An investigation into a cannabis grow operation across Mesa County culminated in the arrests of Bandomo and Hernandez Bandomo, along with at least 7 others. When the raids were completed, law enforcement seized over 1,000 cannabis plants with a total cut-down weight of nearly 4,000 pounds. This cannabis was intended to be made into hash at the suspected drug ring's extraction lab. Bandomo will be back in court on December 10th, and Hernandez Bandomo will be back to enter his plea to the judge on November 25th. Federal officials say a deadly Colorado house explosion in 2017 happened after lines owned by an energy company were cut during the home's construction. Investigators with the NTSB say authorities in Weld County approved neighborhood construction on land adjacent to or once part of energy production. But the approval lacked documentation of line locations related to the well in Firestone. The report finds that 3 lines near the home were not properly abandoned by the former owner, Patina Oil and Gas Corporation. The blast killed 2 people and injured a 3rd. Afterwards, the state began requiring inspections of underground flow lines near occupied buildings. And it's that time of the night. Anyone who entered to win a $50 gas card, we now have tonight's winner. Congratulations to Darlene Billarde. You have won a $50 gas card. You have until the end of the newscast to claim your card by calling 242-5000. You have 2 weeks to pick up the card, and if you'd like a chance to win your very own $50 gas card, you can simply enter by heading on over to westernslope.now.com or just pop into Ed Bozarth, Mark Miller, Chevrolet Buick. Congrats, Darlene. Still to come on KREX 5 News at 10. Chris Nation will have your full weather report. You don't want to miss it. Plus, we've got an update on the Kincade fire in Northern California. We'll be right back.